What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Friday. It is the last Friday of May. Cannot believe it. We are back. First look into your Friday slate. 15 games. We're going to cover the 13 games that are on the main slate. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. If you've never been here before, you are in for a treat. If you cannot afford to sign up for FTA Plus or send any type of donation or tips, watching these videos and subscribing to this channel is way bigger of a deal to me than you guys imagine. So if that's all you can do, please hit the subscribe button if you find any of this at all helpful. So you can probably already see the videos longer than what you're used to. That's because we cover every game. So we're going to use outlier.bet to cover it. And we're going to look at the games. We're going to look at the pitchers, the batters, historical matchups, everything in between. We've already ran 10,000 simulations in the background. So after we get done going game by game, we're then going to give you all of the batters that currently have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating for this slate using our matchup tool. After that, we're going to do Pitches Be Crazy, where we look at the bottom 5 teams that strike out the most, and then we see what pitchers to target using them. And then at the very end, we're going to do our Makin Bacon bets, where we give you some of our favorite plays that we think players can get 2+ bases for the day. So we use information, we use the simulations that we have on the website. We have it all to try and target some guys for you. So if you are interested, go to MLB tab at FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. The article that you see right here will be down below. You can check out simulations to matchups, to BVP, to batter splits, to cheat sheet, chalk. We've got it all for you. If you want to check it out, $10 a week. Get you all sports. Current sports that we are doing, MLB, PGA, MMA, and NASCAR. Obviously, NBA once it comes back next year because there's only one game a night, basically. And then we're getting pumped up. We are 2.5 months away from the NFL season, and we are going to absolutely kill it for you guys on the NFL season. So that being said, we try to have giveaways every single day. 2 ways to win. Like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. You do all 3 of those, and this video gets a minimum of 50 likes. You will have a shot at a free week of FTA Plus. All sports, not just MLB. 100 likes on the video is a free month. 150 likes, a free year. 200 or more likes on the video, a chance at a lifetime pass. Second way to win, somewhere in the video there'll be a keyword. Yesterday's keyword was blue. Type it in and have your second shot at a free week. So, Scooter, congratulations. We are still going to re-roll it for the keyword, but you have a chance to get it again. So we had a minimum of 50 likes. We had at least 50 likes on yesterday's video. So you are already a winner there. So when you see this video, hit that like button. And then email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. Let me know that you are the 528 video views winner, or 529 video views winner, sorry. And then let me know your username on the website. If you do not have a username, please email me the username, email, and password, and we'll get you set up. So Scooter is the views winner, and the winner for the keyword, which was blue or some form of blue. There you go, Sergeant saying congratulations. Blue Blues Bacon. So congratulations to both of you. Please, both of you email me. Let me know your username on the websites. And let me know if you were the video views winner or the keyword winner. I get a lot of emails, so just so I don't have to go back and do it there. So like I said, we're going to use Outlier. Again, the link to sign up is down below. You can check it out. If you guys sign up, what we're going to see here is what you can see with the premium package, which is $130 a month from them. If you use our link, you're going to get a 7-day free trial. After those 7 days, if you guys sign up for that premium package, we're going to give you a free month of FTA Plus. After 7 days, if you sign up for the normal package, we're still going to give you a free week of FTA Plus. You just have to show proof that you did. So we do have 2 early games we're not going to cover. It is the Reds at the Cubs at 2:20, and then the Brewers at the Phillies at 6:45. So about 20 minutes before the main slate locks here. So that is what we're going to cover. We're going to look. We do have some weather concern here in the first game. The LA Angels, and then at Cleveland, Colorado at the Mets have some rain concerns there. Overall, I think we should be pretty good. Again, we're X amount of hours away, so we'll definitely pay attention when we go through there. So just want to show you what we'll do, how we go about it, and we will dig right in. So again, like the video. If we can get 200 likes on this video, I'll give away 3 lifetime passes. That's $1,500 worth of lifetime passes if we get 200 likes on this video. Okay. Looking at this, we've got Sean Burke versus Zach Eflin. Eflin coming in, he's averaging 9.7. Burke is averaging 55 or 10. They're both very cheap. They both, honestly, Eflin comes in 5.40 ERA, has not had a good game in a minute. We're looking for value-wise, basically minimum on DraftKings, you want 25 fantasy points. out of your pitcher, each pitcher. On FanDuel, it's basically 50, so you double that since there's only one. Or if they are cheap enough, you can look at like 2.5 to 3.5 times value. So you're looking at 7,000 times 3 to 3.5 is kind of what you're looking at, which would put you right around that 25 mark. So he has not faced the White Sox this year. 40 plate appearances in his career against them, 15% K, and then 256 batting average. So the numbers are okay. They're kind of mediocre. For this game, we have so many other games and so many better pitchers. I'm not worried about pitching in this one. I might take a little look at Burke because the Baltimore Orioles are so bad. Burke, we did use him against Texas his last start because he was 5,500. He's still 5,500. He's cheap. He had 23.9 there. He has a 24.5 against Milwaukee this year. And he does get a plus matchup because Baltimore's, I think, like the third worst team in the league right now, which is just wild to think about. You hate to see it. You really do. But I would, if I'm looking at one, I kind of like Burke here. Now, again, I will let you guys know there are some times that I'm going to be wrong. I'm not always going to be right. And hopefully this is not one. But again, when you're at 5,500, you can afford a ton of other players here. So if we are going to use outlier, we're going to look at the game here. I'm not using Eflin, so I would use White Sox bats. No one's really had success against him, but honestly, they really haven't had success overall. I don't know if I'd use the bats here. None of them really stick out to me, like Palacios with 3 home runs, batting 241. You got Vargas batting 259 with 7 bombs. Corey Lee, if he gets in there, only 11 at-bats, but 364 batting average. They all make sense. Michael A. Taylor, 241 batting average. It's okay. Mike Tauchman, I don't mind them. I'm not going out of my way for them. Andrew Benintendi only batting 239, but he does hit righties better. Baltimore bats against Burke. No one's seen him before. Right-handed, like you could see, like, yeah, like Gunnar Henderson batting 300, Jackson Holly batting 295, Mountcastle 252, Ryan O'Hearn 341, Rivera 304. Like they're hitting righties well, but they're just bad overall. So those would be the ones I'd look at for Baltimore if I were to focus in on this one. I think what I'm personally probably going to do, just look at the white. And again, the weather will be a big kind of monitor the weather while we're looking at that. But if I were to take one, it's probably Burke. And none of the bats like really jump out to me right. So then we got the Athletics at the Toronto Blue Jays. You got Jeffrey Springs versus Chris Bassett. Now Springs, 59 plate appearances in his career against Toronto, a 214 batting average, striking out 28.8% of those batters. Chris Bassett facing one of his former teams, 44 plate appearances, a 225 batting average, 20.5. Whether or not Bassett's like he's 8,600. He coming off a terrible game against Tampa Bay, which they are a very bad team themselves. That was in Tampa Bay, which is a hitter's ballpark this year because it's a minor league stadium. Did not do well. Did well against San Diego. Medium again, like didn't hit value against Tampa Bay or LA. The way Athletics have been hitting, he is pitching better at home, a 161. So you could use that. You could use that for home, but be cautious with him. Flip side of that, you got Jeffrey Springs. I think a lot of people will be off of him. Sub 4 ERA. Held his own against Philly. Only gave up 4 runs. 3 of them earned. 6 Ks at 15.9, which is, not the 25 we need, but it is the value, that 2.5 times value. At San Francisco, kind of had a good game there as well. At the Dodgers, had a good game as well. So it's been up and down. I think I'd kind of trust Springs a little bit more. You're also going to save 2,100 if you go in that direction. Batting wise, that's where we really dig into the numbers here. We look at them. Kind of like I don't personally. Now, Chris Bassett's been pretty good for most of the starts this year. I don't personally trust him as much as I probably should. If I were to take pitcher or bats against him, no one's had any success like a home run or type. Against right-handed pitching this year, Schumann would be a cheap option, 314. Everyone's going to be on Rooker. Everyone's going to be on Butler. You do have Andujar, Jacob Wilson. You could look at Urias at 255. Clark, I don't know if he'll get in there. Not doing much, but it would be a cheap option. Langoliers is obviously a cheap option. Has 7 bombs, but is batting 194. So very low batting average there. But again, if you're trying to one-off stack here, I'm okay with that. If you don't trust Jeffrey Springs, you want to look at these batters like Santander does have a home run. You've got Guerrero with a home run as well. Left-handed pitching. How they've done against lefties this year, like Guerrero bat with 2 home runs, Springer with 4 home runs, Miles Straw batting 314. You've got Alejandro Kirk batting 333. Like they're in some good spots here. Those would be the ones that I would look at. A cheap option maybe Nate Lukes. I don't know if he'll start, though, because he only has 3 at-bats in total. It just seems like he probably sits more against lefties there. So overall, if I'm reiterating, I don't trust Bassett enough. I would pay down at Springs, maybe look at the the Athletics batters a little bit. So then we jump into LA at Cleveland, or Anaheim, however you want to say it. You got Soriano versus Luis Ortiz. Now, the Angels do strike out the most out of any team, so Luis L. Ortiz makes some sense. He's 6K going up against a team that strikes out a ton. For instance, looking at this, the Angels strike out 9.85 times per game, and they are coming off 8 strikeouts in their last game. So you could look at that if you could find Ortiz. If you could get 6+ strikeouts at that price, I like that. Soriano against Cleveland, career-wise, 41 plate appearance, 257. Not a ton looking at that. So you look at Soriano, terrible start against Miami, giving up earned runs in these games. It's a kind of a weird thing. He's getting 100+ pitches, or right around 100 pitches. 90 to 100 pitches is pretty much where we're on par for. He's faced Cleveland once this year. In that game, I actually watched that game. I don't know why. Got lit up. 5 earned runs there. So I probably, if I were to use any of them, it's most likely going to not be Soriano. It would be Luis Ortiz here. But then we look at the Angels bats against him. Like Logan O'Hoppe has a home run. Jorge Soler has a home run. Against right-handed pitching this year, Zach Neto leading off, batting 285. Shanawell batting 289. Adele batting 205, but has 5 bombs. Like, I would look at those guys. Moncada batting 260 with 5 bombs. Those would be the ones I'd look at. O'Hoppe as well. Cleveland bats against Soriano. J-Ram has 3 home runs. That's the game. I think he had 2 home runs that I watched. He's a big bat here. Probably my favorite bat of the day, or towards my favorite. On top of that, like Lane Thomas, probably wouldn't use. Noel, I wouldn't use. Stephen Kwan batting 318 with 4 bombs. I would definitely use him. Schneemann batting 250 with 7 bombs. Santana batting 252, 6 bombs. Manzardo with 6 bombs. Arias, like Cleveland right here, they feel like one of those 2+ stacks. So if you are new to the channel, you can have 5 batters as a stack on DraftKings. You can have 4 batters as a stack on FanDuel. 2+ stack, meaning I like more than 5 players. So we got to have different stacks with the same kind of team is what we'd look at there. So overall, I'm not using Soriano. I'll use Ortiz a little bit. I'd rather focus on Cleveland bats just a little bit more. But again, monitor the weather. Well, that's going to be a big key factor here. Rockies at the Mets. I'm taking Peterson. I'm taking the Mets bats. I'm not overthinking this. I'm taking Peterson against the team that strikes out 9.8 times per game in Colorado. They are a very bad team. Kyle Freeland coming off. Now, he did just have to face the Yankees. Gave up 8 runs, 4 of them earned. Lost that game. Big Lee comes into that with almost a 6 ERA. Wait for the Mets bats to come out. Look at them using outlier. I would stack the Mets, and I would take David Peterson with that as well. So then the next game we've got the Giants at the Miami Marlins. So we got Kyle Harrison versus Cal Quantrill. Now, we look at this. Kyle Harrison, 5 plate appearance, really has not seen the Miami Marlins at all. Cal Quantrill's been around for a little bit. He played with Colorado, so he's seen San Francisco a little bit. 63 plate appearances, a 204. Now, Quantrill comes in with a 6 ERA. He did have a good game against Tampa Bay. He had a good game against the Dodgers, which makes no sense to anyone at all. The Giants' offense, they've been decent. He does have a better ERA at home, but again, it's 521. You could throw him in there at 5,200. You could put him in there along with Jeffrey Springs or Sean Burke. And I mean, if you put Quantrill in here, then we put Burke in here. If we put Burke in there at 5,500, you're averaging 4,900 the rest of the way, which is huge on a slate like this. So you could get Aaron Judge in there. You could get Otani. If you put Judge and Otani in there, could you get Acuna? I mean, you could get that outfield right there and still average 4K the rest of the way. That is a wild thing. Now, again, it's a tournament only. It's if you make multiple different lineups, be cautious with that. But that's kind of where I'd go if you want to pay down a little bit at this game for San Francisco, Miami. It's been decent. Kyle Harrison has not faced them before, which you usually give a boost up You look at his splits wise, pitching on the road, he's only got 1 start total, 257, and then 2 games at home, he 771. So coming out of the bullpen, making a start here, it's not stretched out enough. 386 ERA, 11 Ks. I don't trust him. Quantrill for tournaments because he's 5,200. I'm okay with. I don't love. I'll put it that way. So we can dig in and we can look at what batters make sense in this game here. So San Francisco bats against Quantrill. No one has a home run. Against right-handed pitching, though, this year, Willie Adames with 5 bombs, Wilmer Flores with 7 bombs. You got Elliot Ramos almost batting 300 with 8 bombs. Like, these guys make sense. Jung-Ho Lee, usually you like him against lefties, but he's still batting 263, which is above league average with 3 bombs there. Matt Chapman only batting 205, but does have 5 home runs there as well. Those would be kind of be the bats that I'd look at. I think a Miami stack here might be sneaky. Now, they don't have a ton of success against lefties. We don't know how deep or how long Kyle Harrison's, like if he's on any sort of short leash. So if we were to look at the bullpens here and just looking at like San Francisco's bullpen, for instance, they have the best bullpen in the league. So that's the problem. They have the best overall bullpen in the league. They've only given up 14 home runs on the year. So very good, very demure bullpen, or however the kids say it. Demure. There's your keyword for the day. If they get to Harrison early, boom, might be the league's best bullpen come in and then shut them down. They can get to him early enough and put up like 5 or 6 runs, and you get those home runs. I'm okay with that. Maybe a Kyle Stowers, an Eric Wagaman, Sanoa, maybe Matt Mervis, Agustin Ramirez. I don't mind. San Francisco bats, like I said, I'm more imposed to use San Francisco stack over Miami if we're being 100% completely honest for this game. We look at the next game, Boston at Atlanta. Not 100% sure that it will be Lucas Giolito. It should be. Now it is his turn in the rotation. We saw him last Saturday? Yeah, last Saturday, game 2 of the doubleheader. Did very well against Baltimore. They're a very bad team. Now, he is going up against Atlanta. He has already seen Atlanta once this year. And 4 innings, 6 earned runs. Did not do well, -3 fantasy points. That was without Acuna, I believe. That's kind of where I feel like he just faced him two games ago. Now he's in Atlanta here. I do not trust him. I would look at Grant Holmes maybe for tournaments and maybe but he is very expensive. Grant Holmes at 8,200 is wild to me. 368 ERA. He's a great game against San Diego, but he just faced Boston not too long ago. Only gave up 2 earned runs, had 5 Ks, but did walk 4. So that is iffy there. I'm probably not using him. Probably using other ones. Probably looking at different directions here. But that's kind of where I would go in this situation. I would look at probably just Atlanta bats. Now, kind of got to wait for the lineup to come out. We don't know exactly who it's going to be. But I would look at Acuna. I would look at Matt Olson. I would look at Verdugo if he's in there. Ozzy Albies. Like, look at these guys. Wait for the lineup to come out. I really want nothing to do with Giolito. Holmes, maybe for tournaments because Boston does strike out third most out of any team. But that would basically be it for this game. Weather not being a factor is also great. St. Louis at Texas is the next game on the docket. So we got Matt Liberatore versus, it should be Jack Leiter. It's not 100% confirmed yet that it is Jack Leiter. He did last pitch on Saturday, so again, it lines up for him. Been very up and down, very iffy. He had a great matchup against the White Sox, went 5 innings, 5 walks is what the huge thing was. So that's the most amount of walks he's had in any game, of course, and we paid $7,400 for him. So like I said, I'm not always right. I use Jack Leiter because he had a great matchup against the White Sox. Only give up 2 earned runs, so I'm like, it wasn't a bad option, but low strikeouts and 5 walks just didn't do it. I don't trust him against St. Louis at all. Liberatore coming in, got a 2.73 ERA. Texas offense has been very bad this year. He has not faced them before. I'm not particularly looking at a ton of bats in this one. But if I were to look, I would look at Liberatore as my pitcher. I would look at St. Louis as my bats, like a Brendan Donovan, Arenado, just depending on who is who is in there for the lineup. So kind of monitor that situation to see what Cardinals batters are in there. Depending on which catcher is it Pages? Is it Herrera? Do you have Brendan Donovan in there? Lars Nootbaar? Like who's going to be in there? Kind of monitor the lineup that comes out. I would look at, if I'm stacking Cardinals in this one, I would look at like the top 5 batters for this lineup for the Cardinals over Jack Leiter. I just don't trust him enough. And I would look at Liberatore as my pitcher. Jack Leiter, like he has some good games, but that's about it. Tampa Bay at Houston is next. You do have Ryan Pepiot versus Framber Valdez. So Valdez comes in 9,200, 339 ERA, 4 straight 20-plus fantasy points out of him. Teams he faced weren't the best. Tampa Bay's pretty bad overall. 55 plate appearances against him, though, or against Tampa Bay, 341 batting average. So they've hit him, especially in this ballpark. You could always look at this ballpark. So we'll look at this. We'll look at the numbers to see like who's had success against it. Like Morel's the only one with a home run. That's basically it. Against lefties this year, like Caballero batting 283, Arana batting 242. Like they haven't had a ton of success. Chandler Simpson is batting 310. Overall, I kind of like Framber Valdez a little bit. Then you got Pepiot. So Pepiot comes in, 37 plate appearances, a 333 batting average against the Houston Astros. We look at that. Against Pepiot, Christian Walker has a home run, but he has been day-to-day. Caratini has a home run. I think he was day-to-day as well. Then it comes down to other batters. Isaac Paredes at home. I would look at him, 294 batting average, double-digit home runs in this ballpark. Christian Walker, 232. You got Cam Smith batting 270. Pena batting 295 with 5 bombs. Like Jake Myers batting 299. I'm probably looking at Houston as a stack, and then Framber Valdez as a pitcher in this one. And that's where I'd look at right now. I just don't trust Pepiot as much as I probably should. Detroit at Kansas City is next. In this game, you've got Casey Mize versus Seth Lugo. Seth Lugo should be making his start off the IL. Is expected to be activated. As of right now, it's all systems go. He, 2 weeks on the, he's been out since his last pitch was the 11th, or May 17th due to middle finger sprain. Comes in 3.02 ERA, not as good at ERA as last year, but 3.02 is very good. Splits wise, he has faced Detroit once this year, gave up 3 earned runs, 5 Ks, only got 14.8. It is in Kansas City, though. That one was probably in Detroit. Yeah, that was at Detroit. Did go 6.2 innings. Problem is he didn't get as many fantasy points as we should. Didn't even get 2 times value. Then came back in 35 and 20.5. The way Detroit's been hitting, I probably am not looking at Lugo. Casey Mize coming in. Career-wise, 95 plate appearances, a 356 batting average against him. For whatever reason, Kansas City just hits. They hit him hard. Not really sure why as much, but that's kind of what happened. So we can dig into the numbers a little bit using Outlier. So Detroit bats against Lugo. You do have Javi Baez, who's had a resurgence year right now. Home run. Colt Keith home run. Zach McKinstry home run. Torkelson home run. Okay? Those are your home runs. Against right-handed pitching there this year, you've got Riley Green batting 313 with 11 bombs. Terry Carpenter batting 297 with 8 bombs. Glaber batting 252 with 2 bombs. Torkelson, 7 bombs against righties. Baez, 5 home runs. Colt Keith, 4 home runs. Like, I don't mind at all a Detroit stack here. And then Kansas City, they obviously have seen him enough because they're in the same division. Perez has a home run against him. Bobby Witt Jr. has a home run against him. And Mark Canha, they all have home runs against him. Right-handed pitching, though, you can see there's more green on the screen than there is red, meaning they hit righties better. So whether or not they get to the bullpen, like you could look at Perez or Furman. Both of them might be in the lineup. You could look at that. Michael Garcia batting 315 with 4 bombs here against left-handed pitching or right-handed pitching. You could look at that as well. You got Vinny Pasquantino with 7 bombs. Kyle Isbell with 3. Drew Waters, 297. Like, I don't mind a stack here. I'm probably just avoiding pitching overall. I like Detroit stack a little bit more, but I will have exposure to Kansas City a little bit too. Washington and Arizona, it's not been 100% confirmed, but it looks like it should be Jake Irvin versus Merrill Kelly. Both up there over 8K, not hitting the value we need. Probably not using, like Merrill Kelly, terrible game against St. Louis, really good game against Colorado. You're supposed to have a good game against Colorado. I don't trust him at 8,500. And I don't trust Jake Irvin. I would rather just look at the bats. Batting wise, if I'm looking at Washington, I'm looking at James Wood. I'm looking at Robert Hassel. I'm looking at what else? Depending on who's in this lineup for them. You got Nate Lowe. You guys know I love Nate Lowe against righty. Arizona bats against Irvin right off the bat. You're looking at Ketel Marte. You're looking at Josh Naylor. You're looking at Geraldo Perdomo. Corbin Carroll leading off. All of those guys. That's what I'm looking at. I'm avoiding the pitching, especially in this ballpark. I'm avoiding the pitching. I would look at the bats. I kind of like Arizona bats more, but I mean, it's right up there with Washington. Pittsburgh at San Diego. Now, this is a pitcher's ballpark. It is a pretty decent-sized ballpark for the pitching. It's Mitch Keller versus Nick Pivetta. Keller, 98 plate appearances, a 273 batting average against them. And then Pivetta, 64 plate appearances, a 154. Now, on paper, Pirates are a terrible team, and Pivetta should be in store for a great game. Right? That's on paper. But we look at this, and we know a little bit better that 272 batting average. He's coming off back-to-back good games. The one game against Colorado where I'm like, we got to take me is in Colorado, but it's in Coors. That's what got me. That and the Yankees, both of those guys, he did not do well against them. So he had a little bit of hiccup, but you can see, I mean, he was dominating pretty much every game he pitched in except for the Yankees and Colorado and then the Cubs because the Cubs are just so good this year. He gets a great matchup here against Pittsburgh. He's under 10K. I love Nick Pivetta here. And then Mitch Keller comes in, 3.66 ERA. Did face San Diego once this year, 5 innings, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, only 3 strikes. That was at home. Now it's on the road. If you look at his splits, home 4-15, he is better on the road. I don't trust that. I'd rather go San Diego bats here. For sure, I'd rather go San Diego bat. So what I would look at here against Mitch Keller, you've got Cronenworth with a home run, Iglesias home run, Machado with a home run, Gavin Sheets. Gavin Sheets has been absolutely on fire lately. Like if you look up Gavin Sheets, 3,900, he's got 11 bombs. Like he just, when we've used him, he's had a home run for no reason. Pittsburgh, he does have a home run against him this year already. He's averaging 11 fantasy points in 2 games against them. When he's at home, batting 235, does have 4 home runs. So he has been better on the road. But again, I would look at him, even of one-off, if you don't want to stack 100%, I am okay with that. Again, though, you were looking at, like, I would look at Tatis, who's batting 305, Jackson Merrill batting 365 against righties. Gavin Sheets has 9 bombs against righties, so 9 of his 11 home runs, never forget, 279 batting average. You've got, he hits righties well. Machado hits lefties better, still batting 306 against righties. Like, San Diego feels like one of those 2+ stacks for me as well. I want nothing to do with Pittsburgh offense. Pittsburgh offense doesn't even want anything to do with Pittsburgh offense. They're bad. Minnesota at Seattle. You got Zebby Matthews versus, it should be Brian Wu. We used Wu in his last start, 17.5 against Houston. Didn't get the value we needed. I didn't even hit 2 times. I mean, he hit 2 times value barely. But again, we need 2.5, 3 to 3.5 times value, or a minimum of 25. Had a great matchup there. He is going up against Minnesota. He has not faced them this year. 60 Ks. I do like Brian Wu. And then Zebby Matthews comes in. He's got a 7 ERA. He had 1 bad start against Milwaukee, and then Kansas City, decent start at 6,200. Hit 3 times value, which was perfect. And Seattle does strike out I think the 6th most out of any team. 7th most out of any team. Oh, they're tied for 6th with Cincy. So Zebby Matthews, if he could recreate what he did against Kansas City, I'm okay with that. Obviously, you want more than 4 innings. That's the problem. Didn't go deep into games. Batting-wise, they're not really jumping out to me right. Through 10,000 sims, not a ton of these bats are jumping out. After we update it and do 20,000 sims about an hour before, 2 hours before first pitch of the main slate at 6:05 Central, that's when we'll update and see the 20,000 sims. So if I were to take pitchers, I would take both. My only problem is Zebby Matthews not going deep into game there. And then the Yankees at the Dodgers, you got Max Fried versus Tony Gonsolin. Now, Fried, 203 plate appearances against the Dodgers, 201 batting average. Obviously, seen them a ton. Tony Gonsolin, 29 plate appearances, 400. So Fried is obviously my number one. I've liked the picture in the video in the article here. You can see that. He's the best pitcher in baseball right now, or best pitcher in the American League. I don't remember. Did have a little bit of hiccup versus Seattle, under 20. But other than that, like, he's been dominant pretty much all season except for his first start. Those are nerves or first start or what, we don't know. Then you got Gonsolin. Comes in with a 4.68 ERA. Really hasn't hit value. Did hit value against Arizona and Miami, and then Miami again. It's like started off he's already faced Miami twice this year. Arizona, he did well, and then the Angels, he didn't do well, and then the Mets, he did not do well as also. I'm not using Gonsolin. I would use the Yankees as a stack here. Judge, as long as they don't, walk him intentionally like they did on Wednesday. I'm like the Angels did. So against Gonsolin, like Judge has a home run, Grisham has a home run. Obviously those guys, Paul Goldschmidt. I would even go Jason Dominguez, Cody Bellinger, Volpe. Like, I'm looking at all those guys. I'm okay with them. But that's where I'm kind of looking at. Dodgers bats, if you were to go against Max Fried, Max Muncy, Teoscar Hernandez usually against a lefty, and Shohei against a lefty. Against left-handed pitching, though, like Will Smith batting 455, Teoscar Hernandez batting 459, Ohtani batting 324. Outside of that, like, they're not hitting that well. Now, it's obviously the World Series rematch here. We'll see what happens. On paper, it should be Max Fried. He's a better pitcher than Gonsolin. And then you get to the Dodgers bullpen, who they have struggled this season. Dodgers bullpen has given up. They gave up, 4 runs in that Wednesday night game against Cleveland to pretty much end it. Dodgers bullpen overall, if we're looking at like ERA, 3.98 ERA. They have 17 saves, given up 231 hits, 106 earned runs, a 129 whip, 33 home runs, 68 walks, and 255 strikeouts. So they are striking people out, but they are giving up a ton of walks and home runs as well. So if they can get to Tony Gonsolin early and they can chip away at this bullpen, it could be a big game for the Yankees here. So there you have it. Those are all of the pitchers, all of the batters, 13 games on this slate that we have covered for you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let us know down below. We have an absolutely free Discord down below where we give out some core plays and value plays as well as stacks. So check that out. We are now going to give you all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through 10,000 simulation. Now, our record is 38. We are not going to beat that again today. I don't know if we'll ever beat that. But through 10,000 sims, these are the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Number 1 is Aaron Judge. Number 2 is Bryce Terang. Number 3 is Ramon Urias. 4 is Adley Rutschman. 5 is Kerry Carpenter. 6 is Jose Ramirez. 7 is Ryan O'Hearn. 8, Bryce Harper. 9, Kyle Schwarber. 10, Francisco Lindor. 11, Elliot Ramos. 12, Christian Yelich. 13, Matt Chapman. 14, Stephen Kwan. 15, William Contreras. 16, Juan Soto. 17, Pete Alonso. And 18, Carlos Santana versus Jose Soriano. So again, we didn't hit the 38 that we have, but we did hit some. So now we're looking at pitches be crazy. Now, I don't always agree with all of these, but here they go. Luis L. Ortiz versus the Angels is number 1. Angels strike out 9.85 times per game, 9.7 on the road. David Peterson is number 2 versus the Rockies. The Rockies are striking out 9.8 times per game, 10.07 on the road. Grant Holmes versus Boston. Boston strikes out 9 times a game and 10 times on the road. Sean Burke at Baltimore. Baltimore strikes out 8.96 times per game, 8.92 at home. And then finally, Seth Lugo versus the Tigers. Detroit strikes out 8.95 times per game, 9.04 on the road. So to reiterate this, Luis L. Ortiz. Number 2 is David Peterson. Number 3 is Grant Holmes. Number 4 is Sean Burke. And number 5 is Seth Lugo. Now we're looking at bases. These are all the batters we think. And again, you can parlay some of these together. I wouldn't parlay all of them together. You can even up it to home runs if you check this out, check ballpark factors out, see what the weather's doing. As of right now, through 10,000 sims, Kerry Carpenter, number 1. Number 2 is Aaron Judge. Number 3 is Ramon Urias. 4 is Bryce Terang. 5 is Elliot Ramos. 6 is Francisco Lindor. 7 is Bryce Harper. 8, Ryan O'Hearn. 9, and finally, Adley Rutschman versus Sean Burke. So we have 9 of those. I would say don't parlay 9 of them together, but we do have 9 of those there. And then strikeouts. These are ones you can target. You can also tease them down a little bit. You got Nick Pivetta, number 1 versus the Pirates. You can find a line for about 7 strikeouts, 6 or 7. I'm okay with that. Luis Ortiz, about 6 or 7 as well. David Peterson, 6 or 7 as well. All 3 going up against very, very bad teams. 4, Framber Valdez, 5 or 6 strikeouts against Tampa Bay. And then Max Fried versus the Dodgers. If you can find 5+ strikeouts for Max Fried, or maybe even 6, I might tease it up to 6 as well. So there you have it. That is your Friday edition. We have broken everything down. We're looking at everything. We looked at all games, pitchers, batters, stacks, everything for you. If you had fun, if you learned something, if this is your new go-to place for your first look, subscribe down below. If you want, you can. We still have Mother's Day. We have the Mother's Day special going on. I have 1 spot available. No one has emailed me, so it's still there. $100 off that yearly pass. So if you are interested, hit me up via email, and it is first come, first serve who gets it. So good luck to everybody here. Let's have a fantastic Friday. We will be back for Saturday edition. Good luck, and as always, bring home some bacon. Peace!